You know, there's an annual Christmas tradition in Canada that maybe a few people know about, but I'm exposing a degradation by CBC television towards a Canadian Christmas movie classic, A Christmas Story. Now, initially, when Christmas Story ended up on TV being shown on CBC, it qualified as Canadian content. But over the last number of years, the movie is not shown at its full length on CBC. For some reason, major scenes that are part of the comedy attraction of a young boy hoping for a BB gun in Christmas in post World War II United States, Bob Clark, our Canadian director. This, I think, started occurring maybe 2002. I decided to watch A Christmas Story, knowing all the scenes in it kind of work together, sort of like Fast Times at Ridgemont High, those story movies from the 80s where it's a bunch of anecdotes brought together. When the scene where one of the, I think it's Ralphie, the younger kid, no, I don't know it's Ralphie, sorry. The kid is dressed up to go out and I can't move my arms. That scene is cut out. Certain scenes leading up to the Fragile, prize scene are cut out. Certain scenes in relation going, seeing the parade, different stuff, the fudge scene, small snippets are taken away. Now, I was noticing right after this, other key movies that CBC was showing, not at Christmas, were getting butchered. Sideways, especially. Sideways is a classic comedy, one of the best of all time. Literally a half an hour of the movie was cut not for sexuality or scenes or whatever, but for, what's the proper term? For commercial purposes. Now, if you're going to show A Christmas Story, this is what you do. It's hard to show a 10 o'clock movie or an end movie within that 2 hour format. Show A Christmas Story with less commercials and hire somebody or get a company to say Christmas Story is sponsored tonight by Kraft, sponsored tonight by BMO, and you can show it with not like the old adage, limited commercial interruptions. Here's the deal. Christmas Story is a classic movie. It's 40 years, Darren McGavin, Melinda Dillon, all the aspects of a guy trying to find his path in life. And, getting that ultimate Christmas present is the goal, even 2023, with every young child. But would you cut scenes out of It's a Wonderful Life? Would you cut scenes out of The Sound of Music? Would you cut scenes out of, Oliver? That was a big Christmas favorite. Or like a Patrick Stewart version of Scrooge or George C. Scott. It makes absolutely no sense that a public broadcaster with a Canadian movie is literally cutting minutes out of the show. I think 7 to 10 minutes is cut on a regular basis on a Canadian movie. This is Canadian content. This would be like showing a Degrassi episode and cutting out all the scenes with Wheels or cutting all the scenes out with Snake or cutting out scenes involving some of the subsidiary characters. If you're going to show something that's a classic, show it from start to finish. Now, Hollywood Suite shows uncut movies, and although some of the scenes are labored, some of the scenes don't really add to the plot, they can be cut. You look at Slapshot, the use of profanity, whatever, they're never cut. Why show a movie in 2023? All you have to do is maybe it's because one of the scenes involved like a fantasy scene where he's killing a whole bunch of villains, alleged villains or whatever, involving the BB gun. I would suspect that CBC doesn't listen to this podcast. I don't think any representative for the Corp will listen to this. But if you're a person that wants to say, CBC, stop cutting out scenes from key movies you're showing. You don't cut out any scenes of other Christmas movies. Why A Christmas Story? Like I said, you're losing the best aspect of the Christmas Story because the Christmas Story is like a buffet. There's a whole bunch of scenes in a movie that people want to see. Okay? And like when he when he has to do the soap because, he says the fudge during the tire change scene. And I've seen the times where they go out to the Chinese food place, the scene of the neck of the bird being cut off has been cut out on CBC. So, ladies and gentlemen, whatever your Christmas favorite is, A Christmas Story, watch the DVD version, watch the documentary. And again, I was noticing this years before the Garfield Christmas special was shown on CBC. 2 minutes of the show were cut out. Why? I don't know. So if you're against A Christmas Story being hacked by CBC, let me know in this channel. Call your local CBC, and I apologize if you're watching A Christmas Story on CBC for the first time and noticing something missing. It's not you, it's them. CBC, you should know better. We pay your salary. No wonder everybody wants to get rid of CBC, because they just make decisions that make no sense. Bad enough they banned the Montreal Canadiens from Hockey Night in Canada for years because you want to put all their money behind the Toronto Maple Leafs, almost bankrupt the fucking channel. You know, they keep Coronation Street, even there's rape and pornography and all these negativity at 7 o'clock at night, violating the CBC family hour they established years before. They keep Coronation Street. There's so much negativity on the show lately, but they're cutting A Christmas Story. Anyway, lazy, lazy, lazy. That's my rant. Have a Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah to my fellow Jewish people out there. May we find peace in the Middle East. May you love your neighbor and don't get caught. But as we say in the North Shore, if it smells like crap, it usually is. Have a good one. Bye.